What's good, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. I appreciate y'all coming through, or you coming through right now, just one of y'all coming through for this crazy stream at an ungodly hour. And I promise I won't be streaming at this time all the time, but I got stuff on my mind I want to talk about, and I also want to get into some MyTeam. I'm going to open up some packs. I'm looking to try to get this Vince Carter, the signature series Vince Carter, and see what else I can procure out of some packs today. But before I get into that, I got some stuff going on in the sports world that needs my attention. What's going on, Jordan Lattimore? I appreciate you coming through. I don't know if you're on the East Coast, West Coast, high post host to the utmost. I don't know where you are, but I appreciate you coming through so late, my brother. All right, but let's talk about something, man. And the videos, like what I'm talking about here, I'm going to break these out into some segments. You'll see them for the rest of the week. So, so from now on when I stream, you guys will see that. So if you don't catch every part of it, it's cool. All right, but let's talk. NCAA tournament is going on right now. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Usually I am like kind of locked in on the tournament. I got my bracket next to it and I'm putting X's through stuff. And this year I haven't found myself quite as into the tournament as I usually am. I'm more watching individual players because of the NBA draft, right? But one thing did kind of catch my attention. Tacko Fall. I don't know if y'all know who he is. You should know who he is by now. He's 7'6", like no lie, 7'6", plays for the University of Central Florida, and they got Duke next, right? So everybody's already talking about what's going on. 1989, my brother, what's going on, man? Everybody's talking about Tacko Fall, Zion Williamson, and Tacko Fall says today, according to ESPN, which is where I saw it, he says, "I won't allow Zion to posterize me." He said, "It is very hard to dunk on me. I mean, I won't allow it. I won't allow it. I won't allow him putting me on one of his highlight tapes." This is what Tacko said. All right, now, Tacko, I want you to know, I know you're 7'6", and I know you're a pretty strong guy and everything. He's not all that great of an athlete, but I will give him some credit that he has really worked himself into much better shape than he was when I first saw him back in high school. When I saw him in high school, I was wondering, I was like, bro, I don't know if you're going to be able to run up and down the court consistently, but he got himself into good shape. Here's the thing about being dunked on. Nobody allows themselves to be dunked on. Like, that's the whole point. I dunked it on you and you couldn't do nothing about it. Go, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He said he won't allow, but that I think this banter is good. When have you ever heard somebody talking about they weren't going to let somebody dunk on them in the next game of the NCAA tournament? That's like cool in itself to me. I don't know how his coach feels, and I don't know how Mike Krzyzewski's going to feel if Zion Williamson makes it a point to try to flush on Tacko Fall, but that's interesting to me. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is Ja Morant. And you guys have probably heard me talk about Ja Morant before. I'm telling y'all, and I tweeted this earlier today, the Chicago Bulls have to do whatever is necessary to get Ja Morant. I don't care. To me, the only two people that I would not give up for Ja, and believe you me, I am not trying to say I love Zach LaVine. I argue with Nelson all the time about Zach LaVine. I love Zach LaVine. But the only two people on the Bulls roster that I would not trade to move up to get Ja Morant if I had to is Wendell Carter Jr. and Lauri Markkanen. And the only reason I say that is because I think that they work better with Ja than anybody else. I can imagine Ja and Zach LaVine having a little bit of struggle and having to learn how to play with each other. But I'm picturing Ja and Lauri Markkanen in pick and pop. I'm picturing Ja and Wendell Carter in pick and pop, pick and roll situations. You got Otto Porter flanked out on the other side, and then you replace Zach LaVine with a more 3-and-D style 2-guard. Oh my God. Oh, that's how that makes me feel. That's a good thing, in case you didn't know. That's me being excited. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's what I want. I want that. I need that. I need that. Hey, 1989. I don't know how you are pronouncing Mr. Hachimura's name, but Nelson says you got to say Rui. You can't say Rui. You got to say Rui. So, because Nelson is tapped into his Japanese ancestry, Rui. So you got to say it like that. So I don't know how you said it in your head when you wrote that, but you better say it right, because Nelson will come over there and knock your computer on the ground. All right. So if the Bulls land John Morant and get more vets, better role players, do you think the Bulls can contend for the playoffs? I absolutely do. I think if the Bulls got Ja and they didn't have to give up anybody and sign like a veteran backup point guard to kind of help cultivate his talent, you can let Chris Dunn go. I don't hate Chris Dunn or anything like that, but I just don't think he's the answer. I don't think he's a needle moving type of point guard, and Ja is. I think the Bulls can definitely contend for the playoffs, and they are at a place where now it's about forget the tanking, forgetting those types of situations. You're in a place now where you need to get playoff experience and move ahead. So yes, the Bulls need Ja Morant. All right, I'm moving around kind of fast because I'm gonna get to my team, but I wanted to talk about a couple things. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is MLB The Show. Baseball season is starting up, and y'all probably can't tell, but how much I love baseball. 1989 knows, because he used to be on my Twitch streams. It was crazy because last year when I started, using Twitch a little bit, it was right during the time that MLB The Show had just come out. I'm not going back to Twitch. I actually kind of just like YouTube streaming better. But MLB The Show is about to come out. My review is going to be up at midnight Eastern time when on March the 26th. I can't wait. I'm writing up something for tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning, in a few hours. Y'all, look at my eyes, man. They should be red and dark as ever. I keep ungodly hours. I keep the kind of hours that your grandmama tell you, if you keep them kind of hours, something bad gonna happen to you. Them the kind of, but I be at home though. It's crazy. At any rate, MLB The Show is coming out, and I can't wait. You said, did I claim the free stuff on the PlayStation website? No, I didn't. Like, what is it? I think they had something like a PlayStation theme. The theme that they have is really cool. I saw it today. I'm really interested in that. But the things on the MLB The Show that I'm most interested in testing out, that of the stuff that I haven't seen already, is I want to see how deep the moments mode goes. We saw a little bit of it during the Twitch streams, so I'm interested in that. And I'm also interested in the March to October. That's really the only two new modes they have. I am already a little bit mad at MLB The Show because there is no creative ballpark. You still can't relocate teams. You still can't do expansion. You still can't rebrand teams. But I'm still excited for the game, because more than any other sports game out there on the market, in my opinion, you know what you're going to get from MLB The Show video, from their gameplay. So that's going to be at an extremely high level, even if I do believe that they don't change enough other stuff, on a regular basis. You said they are offering 10 pack bundle 1,000 stubs, which you get right then, and you enter a contest for 67,500 stubs. Wow. No, I didn't know about that. And the funny thing about the show is, it might change this year, but I don't play Diamond Dynasty that much. I really, really love playing franchise mode on the show. So I don't know, and then road to the show. So we'll see. All right. I'm all over the place, y'all. My name is Unique Mazique, and this is how my mind works. And I decided to be free. I'm gonna let my hair down a little on the sides, but it's okay. Check it out. Kofi Kingston, WrestleMania 35. I'm really looking forward to it. I've written about this, and I hope I get drafted in the first round too, Bastion. Man, that is the coolest. Your name is the coolest thing I've seen today. Bastion Masawa. Is it Masawa or Masawa? Say one or two, first one or second one, or even neither one if I'm wrong. But it's still cool either way if I'm wrong or not. The way you pronounce it, which is probably right. The second one, Masawa, Bastion Masawa. That's like, I think I'm going to create a character or something in one of my games called Bastion Masawa. And I think that would be, I think that's going to be dope, honestly. I'm telling you, man, sometimes people come through with a name on the side and it catches your attention. because Bastion's got some power to it. You know, I told y'all before, you walk in the room and you say, my name is Bastion. And I expect things to go as I expect them to go. And you say that, you look them dead in the face when you say it. Like I'm looking at you now. You see what I'm saying? I want next time you walk in the room, Bastion. That's what I want you to do that, and you watch and see what happens. But anyway, we're talking about exactly right. This is what I'm saying. WrestleMania 35 is coming up, right? And Kofi Kingston has taken over the world, at least the WWE universe. And I wrote something up today about this, man, and how I feel like this might seem like it's a real simple kind of a topic, but I think that what's going on right now with Kofi is important to the WWE's future in a lot of different ways. I think there's, like, if you saw my article that I wrote earlier today, it's like 5 reasons that I think this is really kind of important. This story and some of the storylines that they're working with now, they have found a way to kind of like quote unquote keep it real without just going to get like extremely vulgar and a whole bunch of sex related stuff. You know, they changed up everything for the Attitude Era, right? And their idea of changing things up for the Attitude Era was to get raunchier and to get edgier and all that, and it worked, right? But now you're in a different time, and some of that may not work, or they don't want to lose certain sponsors. So they had to me to be more creative and more real in terms of touching on some of the subjects that they maybe were taboo before. And they're doing that now and doing this thing with Kofi, especially dealing with race a little bit, because my personal opinion, the WWE has always had a race problem. They've always kind of created these caricatures of, you know, African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, all of this different stuff. And it always kind of made me uncomfortable, but I'm a little bit guilty of seeing this stuff, feeling uncomfortable and still not turning it off necessarily. I kind of just would shake my head and kind of be like, dang, that's kind of, I hate the way they do it. I mean, like most of the African-American performers are dancing around. You got all the Hispanics, they got them coming up in low riders, or, you know, they either got to be that kind of a Hispanic character or they got a mask. They, you know, either way, and I know wearing a mask in Hispanic wrestling is something that's honorable. It's not that, but if you kind of pigeonhole everybody and say that all of the Hispanic wrestlers have to do that, then it is, you know, it's kind of sucks. The Asian wrestlers, all of them, you know, they kind of have them do the same type of machinations all the time. So, you know, I saw that and I see that. I've seen that for years. And I think that we're starting to see, with the way that the New Day has shifted to a little bit more of a serious act and a serious persona, that they're changing that up a little bit. And I dig that. I don't know how long it'll last. I don't even know that it's being done for the right reasons, but it's still being done. So I also like the fact that they're rewarding a different face with the individual spotlight. So it's not like the same people. I mean, I love Roman Reigns, but it's not Roman Reigns. It's not Randy Orton. It's not John Cena. It's not Seth Rollins. It's somebody different who hasn't been a leader of the pack before. Kingston's coming up on like his 12th year in the WWE. He's just now getting the opportunity to really shine. So I think that that's important, because hopefully from a fan standpoint, you can kind of watch this and you're like, all right, so I don't know who's going to get a push next. So it makes it less predictable. Nobody would have thought that Kofi Kingston was about to get a world championship push. And I know some of it happened because Mustafa Ali got hurt, but that's the unpredictable nature of it. I think is cool. Another thing is that usually when you get saddled with a comedy persona, like the New Day did and with Kofi, and they were definitely funny, throwing booty-os and pancakes out the singlets and all kinds of stuff. They were funny. But usually once you go comedy, you never get a chance to be a serious wrestler again. Like, that's just it. You're not going to be getting a champion. You're not going to get it. And that's usually what happens. So to see Kofi come in as a serious persona, a serious character, have a couple runs, tag team championships, intercontinental championships, United States championships, whatever. But then to have him go through all that and then almost 12 years later come back around and now be getting the biggest opportunity of his career with the most exposure, And then now, obviously, more exposure leads to more earning potential, selling more merch. All of this turns into real dollars. That's different in itself. But lastly, and maybe the most important thing about it is, it's proven that the WWE universe, the fans themselves, will support a non-white character, right? They will push and they will really get behind a minority character. So I think that is pretty cool in itself. If he wins the title, he won't have a Grand Slam 199 because he didn't get the World Heavyweight Championship, and that has to be the Grand Slam. At least I think that's the way it is. I lose track because they changed titles up so crazy, but yeah. But R-Truth competed for the World Heavyweight. For the WWE Championship once, and he lost, and then so did Mark Henry, and he lost. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on. I'm moving on. I want to talk about UFC. My man, Tyron Woodley, the now former UFC welterweight champion, he lost his title to Kamaru Usman at UFC 235. Fought terrible, just to be totally honest. Fought terrible. He very much looked the same way he looked when he fought Rory McDonald years ago, which was his last loss before this one. Just way too tentative, backing up the entire time. Just not being aggressive enough. He allowed the fight to be dictated to him. So he's coming off a loss. So I saw him on TMZ Sports. Now, he's a part of something on TMZ Sports called the Hollywood Beatdown. It's a regular segment that he does. He was basically trying to improve his marketability and his brand, and he's done a pretty good job with it. Because Tyron's pretty funny. He's not a great rapper. I don't like him. He probably would punch me in the face if he heard me say that, because he really takes it serious. But I don't dig it. But it is what it is. Everybody can't be great at everything, But he called out Conor McGregor. And him and Conor actually have some history. They've gotten into it backstage on more than one occasion. But the way Tyron laid it down, he laid it down really point blank, easy to understand. There's nothing that you can't spin this way, that way. He flat out told him, he said, look, dude, you lost your last championship fight. I lost my last championship fight. Who am I going to fight at this point? Because they can't just give me anybody, because I halfway cleaned out the welterweight division anyway. I beat Wonderboy Thompson once, drew with him the other time. He knocked out Robbie Lawler to get the title. He beat Damian Maia. He beat he knocked out Darren Till, who Jorge Masvidal just knocked out. So it's kind of like, who do you want to give me? And then, of course, he wants big fights that gives big paydays. They're not going to give Tyron an immediate rematch because Dana White don't particularly like him. No way. And a rematch of Usman Woodley doesn't move the needle a lot, if you just want to be honest, right? Because neither of those guys are, like, Tyron's a bigger name, of course, but them together at the top of a card just probably doesn't do it. But Tyron is a big enough star to, if you match him with Conor McGregor, now that's a really, really big fight. But the cool thing of it is, it's just not a main event fight. So now it strengthens a card that has a title fight main event. And now you got a super card, perhaps in July. Now, the only fights that I think that could go ahead of Woodley McGregor and be a main event ahead of it is John Jones against Daniel Cormier at heavyweight, or Daniel Cormier defending his title against Brock Lesnar. Those are the only two fights I could see that Woodley McGregor could play second fiddle to. And I'm trying to tell you right now, if Woodley McGregor is on the same card with Cormier Lesnar or Cormier John Jones, you can shut down the entire sports weekend. It's a wrap. Nothing else is really shaking but that. Yeah, I understand it. John Jones brings out the absolute worst in Daniel Cormier. He really does. Daniel Cormier acts like a total gentleman until John Jones gets around, and then he acts like he has lost everything that he ever had in his brain. Like, he just goes nuts. So I don't know, but I really do like the Conor McGregor Tyron Woodley fight. I hope they make it. Conor would have to come back up to 170, where he's fought before. He fought Nate Diaz at that weight twice. So I would really like to see that. I hope it happens. But so I had to get that off my chest. And this is pretty much what I'm probably going to do for most streams. Get some stuff off my chest and then maybe play some games. I don't even know which games I'll play most times. But tonight, for 100% sure, it's time for some MyTeam. I am going to talk to y'all about, we're going to look at basically, because I haven't shown you guys my team where I am in a while. So I'm going to show you where I what my team is looking like right now. I got a new objective for my team. So I'm playing it a different way now. Then we're going to do some pack openings because I'm trying to get that Vince Carter. And then I'll probably try to play a triple threat online game or two, or maybe three. Of hopefully I'll be playing with Vince Carter. So let's switch the deal here. Oh, you know what? I think I remember this. I can't switch this in the middle of a stream. So what I'm going to probably have to do is I'm going to have to stop this stream and restart it back. I hate that. I forgot about that. I said that the last time. I'm going to have to start the stream. Y'all come back because I'm starting it right back up. And so then we'll go get directly into my team. So let's do that now. All right. I'll see you guys on the other side in about 35 seconds.